We're up with the sparrows and the crows this morning, ready to tackle the rim walk, the Kings Canyon rim walk. Can't wait. Aiden Cashman, what's going on? You're trying to trick me and we haven't even got to the walk.
I said we could follow the red arrows.
Yeah, he said red arrows, everyone. He wants to follow the Kings Creek walk for 2 kilometres. No, we are following the blue arrows. The big kahuna, 3 to 4 hours. Or actually, if you really...
No, we're not doing the orange one.
Do this one, the 22 kilometre one. I'm not sure you packed enough snacks, young man, for that. I don't know if you can see it, everyone, but these are the stairs that you hear about at Kings Canyon. Can you see all those little white and blue blobs? They're people. And they're making their way up the 500 steps to the top here. But once you get to the top, you're walking around the edge of this beautiful canyon, the rim. Okay, guys and girls, this is it. We're off. I don't know if you can see the steps or how steep they are. They're not too bad. But I thought there was only 500 of them, but apparently there's 550.
We'll have to count.
Well, you're the maths man. You do the counting, love.
Oh, I might fall asleep then.
Off we go. For those of you that don't know the walk, yes, you do these steps straight up here, but that's the hardest part, and then you're around the top. There is a Garden of Eden in the middle, which is more bloody steps. Your legs are feeling it by then. But for those of you that need it, there's a defibrillator at the top and also a helicopter landing pad. In all seriousness, like they've covered all bases nowadays. So
there's a couple, according to the map.
Yeah, there is. Yeah, there's a few defibrillators and a couple of helicopter landing pads. Hopefully we won't need those today. How are we going, troops? Oh,
get in there.
If you can hear us puffing, it's because we're puffing, guys and girls. We had the flu not long before this, probably, Aiden, about 3 weeks ago?
Yeah, about that.
And we had been walking and trying to do some hill walking to try and, A, just get a bit fitter, but B, be ready for this. But the flu had other ideas. So we lost a good 2 to 3 weeks of any walking or anything. So the key with this walk, there's a lot of stops with these steps. So if you are a bit challenged, it just pays to do a quick burst, have a stop, and off you go. Let's go. Aiden, we made it.
We did.
Better on this side than in the shade.
Yes.
Didn't take long, did it?
No, but I'm glad we started early so we came up in the cool.
Yes, and we weren't lying, everyone. Here's the defibrillators. And
we're not going to try them out.
And the emergency boxes. Fortunately, we haven't had to call on the services of anyone. That's a bonus. What have you got to tell us, Mr. Signman?
Well, I'm just reading the signs, as I do. 400 million years ago, this was a sandy desert, covered in sand dunes. And then with time and silica-rich water, it compressed it all down into these layers that you can see. Wow. Particularly over to your left there, you've got the layers running at a slight angle, then leveling out and flat on top.
And the colours are just spectacular, aren't they? It's one of the things I do love about this walk.
And you can tell the difference. These were deposited by wind, because they're thicker layers than if they were deposited by tidal. Okay.
And we definitely know we're in the Northern Territory.
Yes.
With the colours. That is, there is no mistaking that, is there?
No.
Right, guys and girls, I'm getting to one of my favourite parts now of this walk, which is just not far past the top steps. And you come into this area, which is like a bit like if you've been to the Bungle Bungles. I've lost the others. They're back through the crack somewhere. It's a bit like the beehive formations.
Yes, we're enjoying the view behind us.
I know, it is spectacular. Sorry, I got a bit carried away. This is where you want to be watching your kittywinks, everyone. There's definitely a reason they put these signs here. There is absolutely no barriers, of course, anywhere.
And they're undercut.
And they're undercut. I've been here and seen people doing stupid things on the edges of these cliffs. In particular, this one up here that's jutting out. And honestly, you really are dicing with death. If you're going to try and get out on these and get a selfie and do all those, well and good. But you just never actually know when one of these is going to give way on the edge. I prefer to play it safe. I've got a lot of travelling to do yet. Look what I just found, everyone.
I bet you someone spat the dummy up here.
Yeah. Is it yours, Aiden?
No, I haven't spat it yet.
Did you spit the dummy?
Not yet.
Because I just found this in the bush. You sure it's not yours?
It's definitely not mine. Mine's blue.
Well, I don't think anyone's coming back for it, peeps. So I'll put it in my pocket and get rid of the rubbish from up here. We're heading across to Cottrell's Lookout now. We've got to cross this little bridge to head up to the top there. A little bit obsessed with the rocks as always. Look at this one. Split in half but still sitting together at the moment. Up the top, Aiden said, typically. I said up the top, you said typically that the rocks look like what? Bread.
Bread buns. Buns.
He was thinking about buns. We're just heading down to the Garden of Eden now, everyone. It is 100% worth doing. This, I was just saying to Aiden, isn't unlike at home in the Flinders.
Better watch out that doesn't crack.
Different. Yeah. So, more stairs down into the Garden of Eden, then up, and these ones are a killer. If you haven't been doing your workouts, your thighs,
And then up over.
knees, and your butt's going to know about it. Show you these.
Ashling's gone.
Ashling's gone. She's left the oldies for dead. I think she's sick of my fart arsing around, but that's okay. This is how steep they are. They're just killers, these ones, but very,
And it's not, well, the steepness, but it's the narrow step.
Yeah, well, see, I'm going down on the side, love, because we've got big hoofers, you and I.
Yes, I know, but it's narrow.
Now, this is the thing. This is the thing, everyone. The pain is so worth the gain on the talk.
We'll tell you that tomorrow.
It's just this total oasis in the middle of the gorge. Isn't it
Yep.
shady? I'll head down to the bottom there where there's some hopefully some water. So I just thought some of you might like to see what we have when we're doing these big walks. In our backpacks, we've each got one. Water, first and foremost water, and then we've got refills for our water, which darling Aiden is carrying at the moment. And then I always carry these hydrolyte tablets. so they don't take up much room. And you can pop one of those in your bottle just to replenish your salts and a little bit of sugar. So we've got that, snacks, first aid kit, just a little one. We knew where we were coming here today that you can contact emergency services, so we just have a small first aid kit which we carry, and then really importantly we carry a bag to put our rubbish in. So, you know, as you're snacking, you've got a bag for your rubbish. If you need to do a bush wee, take your rubbish with you. You know I'm always banging on about that. And if we all do that, that keeps this place looking like this. So this is the water hole at the base. You're not allowed to swim in it. It's very important that it remains clean. Just chillaxing there, love.
Yes, trying to build up my energy reserves to make it the last half.
Stamina to get through the next half.
Supposedly once we get up the next steps, it's
Smooth
we
sailing.
get up there and then it's pretty much downhill.
Yeah. Are you getting that warmed up for me, love?
Huh?
Are you getting that warmed up for me?
What?
The defibrillator. There's also 3 different spots here where they have these big medical chests. So they're very well prepared actually on this walk for emergencies, which is interesting because most walks that I've seen in Australia, you fare for yourself, like if you're going to take the risk. But they've got these medical chests, first aid supplies, a bit like Flying Doctor probably. And then this is the flattish area where the helicopter lands. Take a pretty skilled pilot, I'm thinking. We just passed a couple of memorials here at Kings Canyon. So when I was chatting earlier in the episode about taking safety seriously up here, you really do need to. There's been several people that have fallen from the rocks, and I know a damn sight more have unfortunately had heart attacks and things like that, which is why they've put all this safety, I guess, into practice now. So yeah, always just got to be aware. And the reason I'm banging on about it actually is because I see quite a few YouTube episodes from people that quite make light of it, being up in these areas, and you know, the kids are scrambling forward and blah, blah,
Instagram posts sitting on the edge.
Instagram posts sitting on the edge. And look, I know that those people that are making the episodes are obviously taking care of their kids and watching them, and you know, but they're probably just not showing those bits where they're yelling at the kids to get away from the cliffs and come back here and don't get too far forward and all of those things. And I'd hate for someone to be watching it and just go, oh, that's great, kids, yeah, you know, it's not one of those spots where you want to be doing that. But overall, absolutely spectacular. Spectacular walk. One of my faves of Oz. Aiden's left me to bed. Left me. He's left me. He's on the edge. I said, you've left me. You're on the edge. Literally. So we're almost there. This is where you get that. I actually don't know if you can see it really, but we were across there where you can see the people. And this is the really sheer rock which has that magical colour that you can see. Just drops away. Amazing. We're on the downhill run now, love. We just did.
Don't know, is that any easier than going up?
My knees are saying no, but we were just admiring how these domes up here just go on and on and on. And I opened my mouth and said, wouldn't it be great to see it by air, because they look pretty special. And Aiden's like, do you want to do the helicopter flight? I'm like, I don't know, I'm going to have to think about that.
And I was saying we could have the helicopter flight earlier and we didn't need to walk it then.
Yeah, I have to have a little think about that between now and lunch. What have we got here, Aiden? The cycads.
Yes, the McDonald Range cycad.
which feels like makes it into quite a shady little oasis.
They're very slow growing. The one near you there, they estimate, based on counting the old leaves at the base, to be over 400 years old.
Wow. Let's throw a bit of shade. Probably a bit of shade from the dinosaur era.
Surviving from when it was wetter here back 20 to 40 million years ago.
Yes. Right. And they've managed to, obviously, so they get enough water that they can manage to continue on. This is the one that you wanted, love. We've done our warm-up.
Oh, yeah, but
We're ready to head off on
I know you're feeling tired now, so we better not.
Orange means danger. Look. That would be so cool.
Does look specky.
We need to pack everything though.
Almost there.
We've made it, everyone.
Well, not quite.
Well, you can kind of see the car park in the distance. And our YouTube has grown so much now that we have a camera crew. We have a camera crew with us, and she's happily able to video both of us. Look, here we are, both at the same time. So we've done the rim walk, come around, spotted the car park, which I have to say does feel like a relief by the time you finish, because it is quite warm now, isn't it?
Yeah, well, it's coming up on 12 o'clock.
Yeah, so we've been going for about 4 hours. I still am adamant that this is one of the most iconic walks that you can do in Australia if you're able to do it. And now we're all having a debate as to whether we're going to go in the helicopter so we can see it from above. What do you think?
Well, we'll go and check out the prices.
Yes, we'll go and check it out. Aisling says she'll come. I can't believe he's talked me into doing this, everyone. We just thought, oh, we'll check out the helicopter flights and see how much they cost. But we had to come to the shed and get weighed and do all of that. So I thought, oh, we'll be right. And the guy goes, we can take you up right now. I've been in a helicopter once before over the Grand Canyon, and that was at least 25 years plus ago. Aiden's never been in a helicopter, and neither has Aisling. And I said, I think if we're going to do it, I have to do it right now, because if we go back to camp and I think about it, it is not happening. I am terrified of flying, like terrified. So this is really pushing me out of my comfort zone. I've done this once before. I did a flight over the Flinders Ranges because I worked there, and I just got up one day and I thought, if they've got the spot free, I'm just getting up and doing it. So that's what I did, and I can't say I loved it. Sorry, Holly, you were the best pilot ever. This for me is challenging. Why are we doing this?
So I'm just going to run through all of our pre-start checks.
I've never been so glad to be back on the ground in my life. Oh my Lord, but did it. Cannot believe that we were just up there in that. It's basically like an egg beater that you sit in. And we flew all over there. Ugh, yuck. It was great, but yuck, but great. But yuck. And I reckon we've scored one of the best sites, which we had to pay for a big site because obviously we've got Aisling with us. But how's the view? Can't wait for sunset. They've done so much work here since I was last here. All the sites are all gravelled. Nice and flat, which is great. It's a discovery park now, so they've done a great job. Discovery Parks has come in obviously and put in these great camp kitchens, barbecues. Actually just done a really good job. The washing pole, everyone. It's getting a really good workout. It's got good views at the moment, as you can see, and I'm loving it. So much easier than wrestling with that damn little Hills Hoist, mini Hills Hoist number. I have worked out though, you definitely need to clean wherever you're popping it on the van and clean the pad, and then it seems to stay on. So we're loving that. We've got a visitor to camp. Don't you chew my rug, Missy? Got a dingo in camp. This Kings Creek walk is really something. And I'm sure Aidan is so happy that we're doing some more walking.
Yes, we might have to have payback later.
What's the payback?
Well, we could do the longer helicopter ride.
That is not happening. Are you grumpy now?
I am.
Why is that?
Because we could have done this, and I think you nearly see more of the gorge than you do from the top.
The canyon, yeah. So this is the Kings Creek walk. And if you're unable to do the canyon rim walk, which is up the top here where I'm just panning around, this gives you a total appreciation of it. It is just magic.
Without the 6 kilometre walk.
Without the steps and the 6 kilometre walk. Absolute stunner. This one's only about 2 kilometres and quite achievable. It's probably a grade 3. It's fairly flat, so definitely worth it, isn't it, Aidan? Yeah. We're back on terra firma, people. Oh man, that was terrifying for me. My fear of flying is very acute these days, but
it was well worth seeing.
It was well worth seeing. I'm glad that I did it. Don't know that I'd be jumping back into a helicopter again anytime soon, but this has always been a big element of travel for me personally, that it is about pushing you out of your comfort zones, out of that little square that we can all get caught up in living in, and trying to enjoy the experiences that are thrown at you on any given day. So, you know, I personally have pushed myself beyond limits that I never thought I could. You know, camping out in the bush in my swag, completely solo on the Nullarbor, all of these things. And they do become great experiences and great memories. So that's always a bonus. What have you got to say about today, Aidan? I wasn't expecting my day to end like that.
First time walking Kings Canyon.
Yeah.
First time in a helicopter.
Yeah.
It was definitely interesting seeing it from the air after walking it already.
Oh, all those domed formations are just amazing.
Like the scale is just so much more than you see on the ground.
Yes, yeah, because you're only walking through a small part of it, and just seeing the steps and everything when you're going up. So that was pretty cool.
I haven't flown in a helicopter, but I've flown in a small plane over Kakadu and Arnhem Land. Mm-hmm. But yes, the helicopter just gives you so much better view than the small plane. Yeah,
but did you kind of feel like you were just, I don't know, in the air attached to an egg beater? Because that's what I felt like.
He was very stable.
Oh, he was amazing. The pilot was amazing.
Very smooth, but
But when you're banking left and right and just spinning on a dime, no thanks. I just said to Aiden, what would possess you to think that you want to do that all day for your job? Like, you guys, I admire you. My daughter once wanted to become become a pilot, helicopter pilot, and I think she still does. I'm like, oh, she did a couple of lessons. I'm like, oh God, you go for it. Anyway.
But yes, it added to the whole experience.
It has added to the whole experience, and I don't think we'll need to come back to Kings Canyon for quite some time.
You never know.
Never know. Unless he wants to do that 22-kilometre gorge hike over a couple of days. But anyway, if you've come to the end of our Kings Canyon episode, thank you so much for watching, as always.
Yep. Like and subscribe.
Yeah.
And give us a comment. Give us some feedback. We've got a few regulars that give us comments every
yeah, we're getting a few
video, which is great.
A few regular watchers now, which is great, and we love reading all of the comments and responding to your questions. So yeah, that'll be great. Just let us know that you're about, and we'll catch you on the next episode. Thanks for watching.
Never know where we're going to be.
Where will we be?
Not sure yet.
That's anyone's guess. See you then.